Welcome everybody to this session again, the discussion on the Bhagavad Gita. We are discussing about the core of the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. What exactly is the core? What exactly is the main point of the Bhagavad Gita? Now we have come across so far that this is not a book of ethics, neither a book on duty, neither a book on altruism, neither a thesis on doing good for others, nothing like that. This is not about that. So, this is all about how to feel this existence of God inside us so that our the action, our body, our mind, our very existence on this earth will be sublimated, will be elevated to some other level with the God's view of things. It is not that from a human standpoint we have to do that. From a divine standpoint, we have to do this. If we believe that He is the ultimate goal, ultimate aim of all of us striving here on this earth, if we believe that He is at the core of everything, then with His light and His guidance, how can we possibly uplift ourselves? And one by one, in all the chapters, the God has advised Arjuna to do this. Well, the Mahabharat war and other things, this is the situation is the context on which the things have been said. It is the context. That is the background. But the core of the issue is how we can possibly his true instruments. If we don't have a belief, we don't have a faith in the Almighty or God, then perhaps the things will be different. Then the course of discussion, the discussion doesn't arise here. But if you believe that, then how can we imbibe all his teachings, and how can we, internalize the things which are shown in the Bhagavad Gita? So, if only one thing at a time we hold to be the um, I mean, uh, only thing in the Bhagavad Gita, then perhaps uh, in a way we cannot evaluate the Bhagavad Gita in its totality. In its totality, perhaps we are not able to evaluate it. And again, the core of the teaching we must imbibe, the core of uh, the gospel, the doctrine which he has said to Arjuna, that must be, I mean, analyzed in a comprehensive manner. In a comprehensive manner. So by now we have seen that all these things are immaterial. All these things means your altruism, your duty, your societal responsibility, your individual responsibility, and your how you are obliged to your country or continents. Those things do not matter, because once the Godhead or divine starts dwelling in us in his complete structure, then other things will naturally come. Because he is so comprehensive, nothing is excluded. Your duty is not an exclusion. Your country, your family, your society, are not excluded from that. It is so comprehensive. He is so comprehensive in nature. He excludes nothing. If that is the case, then it is better to have him rather than these, solitary things. And that's what he has exactly done in the Bhagavad Gita. And this true, study of the Bhagavad Gita will be complete when these things we imbibe. So, these the God says to Arjuna that in three stages, this will be accomplished. A Brahmi sthiti, a Brahmic existence, a complete divine existence will be only attained, will only be achieved through three stages. The first is we have to work without any desire, without any attachment. So work is the first priority, and we have to do the work without any personal attachment. Rather, it must be done as a sacrifice to this master of these works, who is he. So initially, this has to be done. We have to do works, but again, dispassionately we have to do it. Dispassionately, it is not with complacency that we are doing our work. A complacency is not advisable or desirable. We have to do work. Complete involvement will be there, but it must be done dispassionately. That is the number one stage. And this must be done as a sacrifice to the master of the works. Then, second stage, we won't have an egoistic view that we are the doer of the work. That should not be there. This sense must go. Initially it is there, yes, when we are doing the karma, the works, we think that we are doing it. But the next stage and the next higher stage is we have to forget or we have to think that we are not the doer of the work. It is again he is doing. He is doing it through nature, through some other instruments of which we are just a part. This is, and here no egoistic view, neither we are the doers, nor we have any right over the consequences of our acts. That is the second stage. And the third one is the final stage when we realize that everything is completely His doings. His doings. And I, this entire earth, and everything is in one level. There is no difference between I and Him. He is completely me, and I am completely He. So, this is the final and the third and final stage. So, in these three ways, in these three steps, the things must be accomplished. So, those three things that sometimes we say it is the triune path, that work, knowledge, and devotion. Karma, jnana, and bhakti. Work, knowledge, and devotion. Sometimes many interpret the Bhagavad Gita in this way, that these three are the core of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. In a way, yes, and in a way, no also. But again, these three are the, in a certain way, these three are the core issues. For example, as we have already discussed, that in three steps this thing must be accomplished. The first, karma, work. And normally we are doing our karma. Then comes our knowledge. If with knowledge we can do a certain work, the work status or the work stature will definitely be better. We can better work with the knowledge. But when knowledge comes, it is not that this work is gone. Work is there and it becomes sublimated with knowledge, combined with knowledge. Then comes the devotion, which is the last and final stage. And this devotion, when this devotion comes, all these two, work and knowledge, they also become some other thing with the touch, with the combination with the combined with bhakti or devotion. These two also, they are elevated. So this karma, jnana and bhakti, these three are called the triune path of the Bhagavad Gita. Neither work alone, nor the knowledge alone, nor the bhakti alone can do the thing. When these three are combined, then only a greater synthesis we can have. And that greater synthesis is the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Aurobindo always insists on this, that the Bhagavad Gita is the greatest synthesis that has ever been done. Of course, in Upanishads also we get some sort of synthesis. But Bhagavad Gita is the greatest synthesis. You see, Bhagavad Gita is a part of the Vedantic philosophy. Upanishads, Brahma Sutra and the Bhagavad Gita, these are the three parts, three limbs of the Vedantic philosophy. Now here, in case of the Bhagavad Gita, we find a culmination of all these three. Well, the Vaishnavites sometimes they take devotion as the core issue and they work upon that. And sometimes some people interpret the Bhagavad Gita in a way that it is a treatise on karma, acts, work only. And some people say it is Mahat Jnanam, it is a great knowledge. But neither of these three alone can take us up or can uplift us. A combination of these three will do the trick. And we have to think that this is the core issue, this is the core teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. And in the last chapter, 18th chapter, Mukhya Yoga, and in no uncertain way, the God has told Arjuna that this is the core issue. Tamavyang saranang gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat parang santing sthanang prapsyasi saswatam. So, only in Him take the refuge. We have to take the shelter in Him, in every way. Of thy being, by this grace thou shalt come to the supreme peace and the eternal status. We can only get eternal status when we are combined, when we come in touch with Him only. And from in the last chapter, in the Mukhya Yoga, from 62nd verse to 68, these contain the core issues. Itine ज्ञानमख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमुश्रैत तदेशेण यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु. The God says, I have told you everything. And this is guhyat guhyatarang. This is the most, a knowledge that nowhere you will get. And now I have told you everything. Now it is up to you what you decide. You decide what to do. I have told you everything. Then sarvaguhya tamang bhiya srunu me paramang bachah ishtosi me drudhamiti tato bakhyami te hitam. So here, this is the most secret thing, and I am going to tell you what you have to do. It is the supreme knowledge that I can speak to anybody else. Because you are very close to me and you are the most beloved to me, that's why I am telling all these things to you. And I have not told all these things to anybody else. The God says to Arjuna, because Arjuna was the closest disciple or the closest I mean, being with the God, only the God divulged all these things, all these secret things, this best knowledge possible ever to him. So, manmana bhava madbhakto madjadi mang namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyante pratijate priyoshime. Then again, he says, manmana bhava madbhakto. So, become my minded. You don't become other minded. You become my minded. The God says to Arjuna, my lover, my adorer. You adore me, love me, come to my mind, and have a mind as I have my own mind, and become a sacrificer to me. You sacrifice everything to me. And Majjadimang Namaskuru, bow yourself down to me. And this is my pledge, this is my promise to you, because you are again very dearer to me. I promise you, you can only get deliverance, you can only be released from this mundane world's attachment if you do it. Come to my consciousness and become, because originally you are not different from me, but outwardly you must have to become that. Then the core thing he says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Braja Aham Tvang Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Mahasucha. Abandon all dharmas, leave aside all these so-called things, and take refuge in me. Come within me, because only I can save you. I will deliver you from all sin and evil, and do not grieve. Never grieve. I can only save you. I can only deliver you from the sins and evils. Nobody else can. And the sins and evils, what you think, are not the real sins and evils. If you flout the things, Kshatriya Dharma, then perhaps you will be a sinner. If you go on the path, you tread upon the path, I tell you, so you will be the best man possible, and you will merge yourself with me. Idante natapaskaya nama bhaktaya kadachana nachasu bhusate vachyang nachamang jabhyam suyati. So don't, never this word was spoken before, and without any tapasya, without any ascesis, nobody has got it. But because you are close to me, you got all those things. So now you have to do this and be with me, and I can deliver you. So this is the core teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. This is the core teaching. And that's why Sri Krishna reserves all these things till the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita to tell Arjuna that what he should do. It is not the second, third, fourth chapter where everything has been said. So that's why always we should think rather, that the Bhagavad Gita should be read in its entirety. Not here and there, 2-3 chapters we read and then form an opinion. That perhaps we will not do justice to the study of the Bhagavad Gita. So that is the core issue, and I think we will continue this discussion so far as the other aspects of the Bhagavad Gita are concerned.